My name's Paul, and I run my own business. I sell blue and yellow t-shirts through a number of retail stores. It's going really well. They're selling like hotcakes. And I want to turn my website into an online store. But there's a whole bunch of things I have to think about now that didn't even cross my mind when I started out. I have to keep the details of each item in a product management system. I have to improve our search engine results so people can find us more easily. I have to consider how we can handle orders and all the different payment methods.
Welcome back to Philippines Uncut. Tonight's topic is e-commerce trends and opportunities. And joining us still are Janet Tural, e-commerce advocate, and Nikki Roldan with Save and Earn Wireless. And joining them is J.M. Mariano, and he's the founder of Big Bag Fresh. Big Bag Fresh, online grocer based in Pampanga. Welcome, J.M. to Philippines Uncut. And of course, ladies, welcome back. This is like a reunion, no? Because you have your teacher here and then two students. And but thank you so much for bringing them here because, this is such an interesting mix we have tonight because we have Nikki, who's based in the Visayas, out of Bohol originally, but serves the Visayas and nationwide after that. And then JM, who's based naman in Pampanga. So we're going to show the viewers and talk about their experiences and how actually e-commerce is not centered and focused only on Imperial Manila, but can also be successful outside, no? No, JM, tell us a bit about yourself, about being an online grocer. How did it start?
Well, I had to do it because I need to fulfill the requirements for Miss Janet's course.
That's a tough course, huh?
It is. So I had to. It's a one-year course, and I had to come up with a really good e-commerce business.
Yeah.
So that I'll be able to graduate. So when I was starting, when I was trying to conceptualize what kind of business I need to do, so I had to come home, no? Meaning coming home is I need to find out what am I really passionate about.
Sure.
So there are two things that I'm really just passionate about: either going to the hardware store, enjoying all the things I see there, or the food. So I enjoy going to the grocery because I'm quite domestic. So I thought food is less challenging, so I went there only to realize in the end that it's not.
It's probably the most challenging.
It's probably the most challenging, I must agree.
The most difficult.
So I only realized that when the business is already running.
Now,
So there.
see, that's the difference between you and Nikki. Nikki has an established bricks and mortar business, traditional business, and then she expanded really to start this e-commerce arm. In your case, you had no business like this to start off. It's something you started really from the ground up. Something you really, there was no existing supermarket or grocery business that you were in. This is something you started because of, from the ground up, basically.
Exactly, you're right. I do not have an experience when it comes to handling a grocery store. In fact, this is my first venture in this kind of food business. My previous business, my business is actually virtual assistance. I help clients abroad find qualified virtual assistants. So what I do is when they're in need of virtual assistants, I find people and then I train them what to do.
I have to say you're a very brave man because I have some friends in the food business and really it is really a very hard business to be in, very time consuming, very operations heavy, very logistics heavy, and I take my hat off to you for doing this. And let's talk about your business, Big Bag Fresh. Tell us a bit about how it works. What can people expect from your portal?
Well, as I said, Big Bag Fresh is an online grocery. So
Okay.
think about as consider it as a Pure Gold or SM hypermarket, but it's just online. So instead of you going to the grocery store, you open your laptop or desktop computer and go to my website and start browsing food. Either you use the search engine there, the search engine inside, or you browse through the categories.
So you said like it's like going to Pure Gold or like big retail. So how many items do you carry?
At this point, I have like more than 3,000 items.
Wow. Okay.
Close to 4,000 items.
Okay. And which areas do you serve? Because Nikki here, her online operations nationwide, no? Your bricks and mortar is in Visayas, but then your online is really north to south, no?
North to south.
How about you, Jim?
I concentrated in Pampanga. I serve Angeles City, Pampanga. I serve San Fernando, the entire Clark, Magalang, Pampanga as well, and Mabalacat, and parts of Porac and Bacolor, Pampanga.
Wow. How big is your backroom operation for this? I mean, to support all these areas, it sounds like a lot of work. Huh? It sounds like it's a very logistics-heavy operation.
Yes, I only have like 4 employees there.
This is the entire big bag fresh.
Yes.
4 employees.
Exactly, 4 employees
Wow.
only. So I do not have I do not have a big logistic fleet.
Yeah.
So what I did was I had to only serve like per hour. I can only serve one order because I cannot at this point in time I cannot expand because it will require a huge amount of money, and for someone who is just a sole proprietor that doesn't have a funding, it's quite hard to be pouring a lot of money in the business, and you're alone. So I do not have plan to really expand
Yes.
and put more money in the logistic side of the business at the moment. So
Okay.
I'm concentrating.
You said you have about 3,000 or 4,000
4,000
items that people can buy on your portal, no?
Yes, exactly.
How do you store these? I mean, do you have a central warehouse where you keep all of them, or do you outsource these? How do you manage your inventory?
I do not have all of the items. Those 4,000 items, I do not have all of them in my warehouse. I have a warehouse. I have a warehouse in a convenience store. So while I am operating the online business, I also have a brick and mortar business that is
Okay.
also supporting my
He
business.
put up
Okay.
the brick and mortar for the online.
Because I cannot open this. While I was conceptualizing the business, I cannot operate and then just wait for the orders to come in.
Yes.
So I was thinking there must be another business that should be supporting this online business so that it will run in the foreseeable future. So I thought of yes, I need to set up a convenience store in my brick and mortar like a brick and mortar store, so that I'll be able to power the business while the online business is not really pulling up.
This is a big school project now, Janet, I have to say.
Yes.
He actually surprised me, no? And he did that project. Pero di ba, JM, like your revenue right now, I think 40% ang online.
40% ang online, and then
Wow.
yeah.
That's surprising. I mean, like because how big is your bricks and mortar or out? It's a proper grocery store.
Yes, it's 165 lang na
Okay.
square meters.
Okay, well, sizable. That's not bad. That's a pretty sizable. That's a pretty sizable grocery store.
I had to divide it so
Yeah.
that I have room for a warehouse, and then I have room for the convenience store. Yes, that's just about it.
Jan, are many people doing what JM here has done? I mean, getting into this especially in the provinces, is it a trend we're seeing?
Actually, what happened there was last year when I was running my class, I was telling them that based on studies, especially with the popularity of food delivery, they're saying that the next battleground for e-commerce is food and groceries. So you now see Lazada selling groceries and Sogo selling groceries. You now have Happy Fresh, Metromart. But before they came in, so when they were cooking up for a project, JM liked the idea that he will put up an online grocery. And you know, the online grocery business, what makes it interesting is that it can be a sustainable business. The moment you have a 50 to 100 na suki buying groceries from you every week, that means you can be stable. And I think he already has some suki. And he also has orders from Filipinos abroad who wants groceries to be delivered to their relatives here. So instead of sending the money,
Nice,
order sa
yes,
kanya.
that's a nice
So,
concept.
and he also has expatriate clients who doesn't want to go to the grocery and just want the groceries to be delivered. So, of course, there's a period of adjustment because at first, no one wants to consign products with you. But you know, another thing that makes groceries now very interesting is the requirements of the traditional brick and mortar. Most of the traditional brick and mortar now do not allow suppliers to place items that are less than 1 year in expiration. So now,
Okay.
most of the FMCG product makers, they now have a problem. What do you now do if you have an inventory of products that has less than a year expiration? They need new avenues. That's why they're selling now online.
Interesting. Now, I mean, this whole thing that, like, in the provinces, in the Philippines, I know, like in BGC, in Makati, people are getting this, but in the provinces,
Wala pa, kaya there's a new opportunity now. In fact, anyone in the Philippines if there's no online grocery in that area, they should open one because there's a big market opportunity there.
now, you said that, I mean, do you see market potential for growth in your area? You mentioned Angeles, San Fernando, the Clark area, et cetera, et cetera. Do you see this business growing? I mean, do you feel it growing?
I have a huge hope in my heart that it will, no. But the only problem that I can see now is internet penetration. Yes, the major telcos right now are doing their best to improve access, no, to improve internet penetration in the country. But even if you have, even if everyone's using Facebook now, right now, Facebook, social media is different from e-commerce.
Yes.
Because social media only requires less bandwidth, no. But if you're opening up a website, for example, my website, and it has lots of pictures in there, it requires a lot of bandwidth for you to be able to open that website and make transactions.
Yes.
So the problem that I can see here, the huge opportunity that I can see here, is the improvement of internet service.
Yes.
6 months.
It's going to happen. No, it will happen, I'm sure. But also, like, social media is very simple, no? I mean,
Yes.
for e-commerce, you need a higher degree of sophistication, maybe,
Exactly.
right? You need to be credit card savvy. You need to,
Payment gateway.
yeah, you need to be familiar with all that. And like with e-commerce, with the social media, I mean, anyone with a device can open a Facebook
Actually, what
account.
I like about this project is that most of the online groceries kasi, they don't do fresh goods. And what I learned is that if people will trust you with their fresh goods, they will buy anything from you, no? So he delivers fresh meat, fish,
That's amazing.
vegetables, and
That's
he was
so
able
hard.
to use his biology background also because he studied biology also. So, and then because he has his own 2 bikes, does the delivery, he can also do COD. So at least that is something that for me that is very important that he was able to address, because if you're going to contract a third-party logistics, you will not be given that privilege or that service unless you really have high volume.
In the part of in Nikki's part, you guys don't handle your transport your transport logistics. No, you outsource it.
We outsource it.
Yeah.
It's
So how do you address what Janet said, that you know, there's less interface, customer interaction interface with your company and the end user?
we make sure that in part of our customer journey, once they purchase from the site, we make sure that we contact them first before we pass it on to the courier to control the experience. And after it's passed on to the courier, we also make sure to check up on them.
Yeah.
Make sure
But
they
your
have-
products are easy. No, I mean,
Yeah.
they don't really, unless you drop
But they
it
don't
or,
rot
or
or
they don't
anything.
run. And then your case, I mean, customer satisfaction is pretty tricky in your case, JM, no? Because especially if someone gets meat and they say, oh, it's not too fresh, or they get, you know, something and maybe the eggs are, one of 12 eggs are broken. I don't know. No? So yours is really a challenge. No?
At first, because when you're starting a business, no, for most people, they want it polished, no. But I think from my experience, you just need a minimum viable product, which is exactly what Janet was telling me before. When I was working on my project, gusto ko talaga bongga yung project. So sabi ko,
Bongga naman talaga, ano ba yan? Bongga talaga.
I want to use the best tools. I want to hire good people. I want to be able to. I want my website to have wings and all that. So I want it really perfect. But if you're starting a business, I think more than coming up with a really good looking business and a business that really runs pretty well, you need also to be able to come up with a really good way on how to make your business run with the least budget possible, so that you'll be able to run your business longer than it should. So in my case, inisip ko kasi na if I will outsource my logistics, the logistic part of the business, I might be spending a lot of money, and I cannot control the customer experience.
Yes.
And I'm very
yes.
particular with how my customers feel about it, especially I'm dealing with food.
Nikki, we have a few minutes to close. What advice can you give to people, maybe in your situation, same situation, SME, who want to enter the e-commerce game?
Well, in our case, because we started out as a retail company, in retail, the saying is, he who is closest to the customer is king. But with the coming of e-commerce, the game has changed, and e-commerce is now a tool, kumbaga, to not just even sell online, but for you to reach out to your customers, to connect with your customers and engage with them. And the moment you're able to do that, it won't be just about selling your product, but you get to open more, even possibly more businesses or ways to service them. So really, the opportunity is
Very
really
good.
there.
Very good. Now, guys, before we go, maybe you can give the audience the details of how to find you guys online and in your other social media platforms, perhaps.
Yes, please visit our website at bigbag.com.ph. So I currently serve Pampanga, so San Fernando, Magalang, Clark, Pampanga, Angeles City. So if you don't feel like going to the grocery store, wasting gas,
Getting stuck in traffic.
participating in carbon footprint, there, avoid the traffic, then go there and try the service.
Excellent, excellent. Nikki?
Well, for Save and Earn Wireless, so it's either you can visit our outlets, they're in Cebu, Manila, Cebu, Bacolod, Bohol, and Dumaguete, or you can visit us online on saveandearn.com.ph. We're also on Facebook, so our online officers are there from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day to answer your
For all your
questions.
gadget needs.
Yes,
Save
for
and
all your
Earn
gadgets.
Wireless. Excellent. Janet, last words from you about e-commerce?
Yes, e-commerce is growing in leaps and bounds. I think people should really take advantage of it. And the government is now really working hard also to work with the private sector. If you have a DTI Negosyo Center near you, please go there and inquire how can you take advantage of e-commerce. And of course, if you would like to learn more about e-commerce, we have 41 free e-commerce learning modules and digital marketing modules that they can access for free at digitalfilipino.com.
Excellent. And as we see from our guests here that you kindly brought to the studio today, you don't have to be a big player to take advantage of e-commerce. No? I mean, you have SMEs right here and a startup, or a real startup, in the sense of JM here, who started this grocery from
kailangan talaga na
scratch.
kailangan makakuha ka ng malaking investment. Pag wala kang makuha ang investment, wala na. You can really start it. Yung nga lang, yung risk mo, it depends sa iyo rin kung how passionate you will be in investing. Sa kanya medyo...
Yeah, if you're really passionate like JM,
passionate talaga.
start a grocery. Bravo.
Your appetite for risk.
Well, guys, thank you so for coming here. You came from Pampanga, you came all the way from Bohol, and of course, Janet, thank you for bringing them here. And I wish you the best of luck. Very inspirational what you guys have shared today, and I'm sure our viewers have also learned a lot about e-commerce and are also fired up and ready to go to start their e-commerce businesses and consider the possibilities and opportunities. Guys, thank you so much. God bless, and more
Thank
power.
you.
Huh? Bravo, bravo. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed e-commerce today. Join us again next week on Philippines Uncut, and where we'll have more exciting issues to talk about, and where you will surely learn a lot about many different things. See you next week. Galing.